In an effort to offload one of their players, Barcelona has presented Manchester United with a golden offer. Meanwhile, Liverpool has officially responded to Barcelona's approach regarding Luis Diaz, a key signing highly valued by Hansi Flick. Additionally, Julian Alvarez's agent has hinted at a potential transfer to the Catalan club. When speaking about Yamal, many say, "Every time I face him, it feels like I'm standing in front of a miracle walking on grass." This generation will never forget what they are witnessing now. Before we dive in, don't forget to drop your predictions for the final in the comments. And if you're a fan of FC Barcelona, make sure to subscribe, like, and follow our page for all the latest updates. Transfer news: Ter Stegen offered to Manchester United. According to Spanish press reports, Barcelona has offered the services of one of their top players to Manchester United as part of plans for the upcoming summer transfer window. Spanish journalist Eduardo Inda, an analyst for OK Diario, reported that Barcelona president Joan Laporta has proposed German goalkeeper Marc-Andre Ter Stegen to Manchester United. This comes as part of the club's strategy to revamp their goalkeeping department. Speaking on the show El Chiringuito, Inda explained that Barcelona's interest in Spanish goalkeeper Joan Garcia could potentially open the door for Ter Stegen's exit this summer. Contrary to previous expectations, it now appears that Ter Stegen, not backup keeper Wojciech Szczesny, might be the one to leave. Ter Stegen is on Manchester United's radar, Inda stated. The club sees him as a possible solution to Laporta's financial dilemma. They are facing a goalkeeping crisis, and Ter Stegen, now fully recovered, could be the ideal candidate. Ter Stegen recently made his return to the pitch after undergoing knee surgery last August. He featured in the final game of the season, signaling his comeback to full fitness. Meanwhile, Barcelona appears to place greater trust in Wojciech Szczesny, who stepped up impressively during Ter Stegen's absence and played a pivotal role in helping the club secure a domestic treble this season. Though Szczesny has received a contract renewal offer from Barcelona, he is still deliberating over his decision with his family, especially in light of the anticipated changes within the squad. Liverpool has formally responded to FC Barcelona's proposal to sign Colombian winger Luis Diaz during the 2025 summer transfer window ahead of the new season. The Catalan club had previously expressed strong interest in acquiring the services of the Colombian international from the Premier League side. Luis Diaz, 28, joined Liverpool from FC Porto in January 2022 and is under contract until the summer of 2027. However, the player has yet to reach an agreement with Liverpool regarding a contract extension. Despite Barcelona's interest, Liverpool has made it clear that they have no intention of letting Diaz go this summer. According to The Athletic, the Merseyside club has turned down Barcelona's offer, firmly stating that the player is not for sale. The report further explains that Liverpool has no current plans to offload Diaz unless an exceptionally persuasive offer is presented. Even in such a scenario, the club is prepared to keep the player until his contract expires, mirroring the situation with former right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold, who left for Real Madrid as a free agent. The article concludes by highlighting that Al Hilal's interest in signing Portuguese star Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United has played a role in helping Liverpool gauge a potential market value for their own top players during the ongoing transfer window. Liverpool remains focused on retaining its key talents following the departure of Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid. The club is determined to stay competitive in both domestic and international competitions in the upcoming season. Meanwhile, FC Barcelona is exploring the option of signing Argentine striker Julian Alvarez as a long-term replacement for Polish veteran Robert Lewandowski, whose contract is nearing its end. Lewandowski, now 37, is under contract with the Catalan club until the summer of 2026. On the other hand, the 25-year-old Alvarez is currently contracted with Atlético de Madrid until the summer of 2030. According to Spanish outlet Sport, Alvarez's name has once again gained traction in Barcelona's transfer discussions, particularly after a standout debut season with Atlético. The player's agent has reportedly signaled openness to a move, which has further fueled speculation about a potential transfer to Camp Nou. Julian Alvarez is currently being monitored by the club's sporting board as a potential successor to Robert Lewandowski. His agent, Fernando Hidalgo, informed the media that Alvarez remains fully committed to Atletico Madrid for now. We'll see how negotiations unfold between the clubs and Barcelona. Football is constantly evolving. We need to speak with Atletico, who will assess the situation, and from there, discussions between the three parties can begin. He added that although the player has received numerous inquiries, Atletico's current stance is that Julian will stay with the club next season. He has a strong affinity for Spanish clubs, and having admired Messi's career since childhood, I believe very few Argentinians don't have an emotional connection to Barcelona, especially after the level Julian showed this season. Hidalgo concluded by noting that Julian Alvarez is deeply appreciative of the positive remarks made about him by several figures at Barcelona, including center-back Pau Cubarsí. That recognition gives him great motivation. Alvarez has been on Barcelona's radar for quite some time. According to Sport newspaper, his name is not new within the corridors of the Camp Nou, as his playing style has long appealed to the board, particularly President Joan Laporta and Sporting Director Deco. They see him as a young striker with a strong goal-scoring instinct, excellent vision, and a high work rate. He's also tactically versatile and already possesses substantial experience, having won major titles with both the Argentine national team and Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. The article also noted that no immediate changes expected this summer in the center-forward position, as Lewandowski's contract runs until 2026, with earnings of €26 million in his final season. However, the club is already planning for the future, and Alvarez fits perfectly into both the technical profile and marketing strategy. He is seen as an ideal candidate for Hansi Flick's tactical system, particularly due to the potential chemistry he could develop with emerging star Lamine Yamal. Every time I watch Yamal play, it feels like witnessing a miracle on the pitch. This generation will never forget what it's seeing now. Following one of the most tactically and technically sophisticated matches in recent memory, Kylian Mbappé, speaking from the mixed zone not only as France's captain but also as a seasoned striker, described the encounter as another eye-opening experience, this time against a youngster who continues to redefine traditional football norms, challenging expectations of age, mindset, and even footballing history itself. Mbappé paused briefly, taking a breath before speaking with deliberate slowness, as if carefully selecting every word. "I know that tonight, much of the conversation will revolve around Lamine Yamal," he began. "And I'm aware that some might see this as a media-friendly compliment, or perhaps a diplomatic way to ease the pressure. But those who truly know me understand one thing. I only speak when I genuinely feel that something remarkable and deeply significant is unfolding in front of my eyes in the world of football." He continued, his voice tinged with awe. "The truth is, what Lamine Yamal is doing is far from ordinary. It's a quiet revolution happening right in front of us, a revolution carried out by the sound of two small feet that are unsettling the best defenders in the world." The Real Madrid star went on, his admiration unmistakable. "I've been a professional for years. I've played in World Cups, competed in Champions League matches, and stood in intense Clásicos against some of the most formidable teams. But there's something completely different, something almost otherworldly about the way Lamine plays. It's not just technique. It's not simply about a brilliant dribble or a magical assist. There's an aura to him on the pitch, a remarkable mental presence. It feels as though he's playing with the composure and insight of a 30-year-old veteran, not a 17-year-old prodigy." Mbappé then reflected on the challenge Yamal presents, his tone calm and utterly sincere. "Every encounter with him this season has been incredibly complex. In the last Clásico, when Barcelona faced Real Madrid, we prepared to face players whose styles we knew inside out. But with Yamal, you can't predict him. You can't anticipate what he's going to do. He's one of those rare players who forces you to think twice before making a move." He paused, then added thoughtfully, "To be honest, he's one of the few who's made me reassess certain aspects of my own approach to the game, even as a forward. because his presence on the field disrupts even those who aren't directly marking him. Mbappé then turned his attention to the night's international clash, comparing France's national team to the talent emerging from Catalonia. Tonight, he did it again. His touches, his movement, the way he drives the attack, it's as if he's the one orchestrating the entire system, even while surrounded by older, more seasoned players. He doesn't chase the spotlight, but it naturally follows him. He's not trying to prove anything, yet he proves everything. I tried to respond, to adjust, to change the rhythm of the match, but once again, I found myself having to acknowledge the undeniable. This kid is truly extraordinary, in a way that words can barely capture. Mbappé fell silent for a moment, as though recalling his own early days, then smiled. When I was his age, I was still trying to find my footing at Paris Saint-Germain, learning how to speak to the media, how to handle public pressure, how to earn minutes on the pitch. Meanwhile, he's starting for Barcelona, deciding the outcomes of Champions League games and leading the Spanish national team as if it's his personal mission. That's a massive difference. Lamine has raced through the phases of football maturity at a speed that defies explanation. And it would be unfair now to speak of him merely as a promise. He's already so much more than that.